Hi, my name's Don Rainwater and I'm running for mayor of Westfield, and I'd like to talk to you for a couple of minutes about my concerns with using tax increment financing, or TIF funding, to finance the debt for municipal amenities here in Westfield. Now, for a long time I didn't understand all of the components of TIF, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure I still understand all of the nuances. It seems like every day I find out something a little bit interesting and new about how these TIF districts and this TIF financing is used. But here's the basics as I understand them. And to be honest with you, I'm sure that Council-elect Troy Patton probably has a much better understanding of this. And if you go to his website, he's probably got some information on it that makes a ton of sense and will help you understand why he is concerned about TIF as well. The basic, maybe oversimplification explanation of the way this works is that when they establish a TIF district, they take a baseline of what the property taxes are based on the assessed value of the property in that district. And then over time, as the assessed value, or AV, increases, obviously the property taxes increase. And the TIF district allows the municipality to take the money between what was the property tax when the TIF district was established and what it is now, that difference, that increment, if you will, and take that and use that to pay for whatever debt they've established that TIF district is going to pay for. Now, on the surface, that sounds good, but the undercurrent of that is what concerns me, and I believe it's what concerns a lot of folks here in Westfield. When you establish a TIF district, first of all, any undeveloped land is worthless to TIF financing until that land starts to be developed. So that encourages rapid development of undeveloped land. If you look around Westfield, you'll see there's a ton of development. And it seems like any developer who wants to come in and develop land, the city council has signed off on. And I believe that to a great extent, that's because they need those TIF dollars. They need that assessed value of that property to go up. But one of the, what I believe to be unintended consequences of that is that your home and mine get caught up in these TIF districts. And our assessed value has to go up, because as they assess the value, they assess all the values. And so our property taxes go up because our assessed values go up, and that causes our property tax bills to be even higher. And the problem with that is that not only do the assessed values continue to rise, but because that TIF money isn't able to go to school funding, the schools have to turn around and propose referendums. We have to vote on referendums to fund our school construction projects. And if you go to the high school, the middle school, the intermediate school, you'll see they all have construction projects going on. And the reason that they do is because they don't have enough room in the schools for all of the children that are moving into the area to fill the houses that are being developed on the undeveloped land that needs to be developed in order to create the increment to pay the debt for places like Grand Park and now Grand Junction. So when they start talking about, oh, it's okay, we're going to pay this with tax increment financing or TIF, and we estimate that the development in the area will more than pay for that. The thing that you have to remember is that the more development they do in order to create an increment between the original assessed value and the new assessed value, every time they come out and do an assessment, they reassess your property too, and your property taxes go up. And you may not be in the same position I'm in, but somewhere down the road here, I'm going to want to retire. I'm going to be on a fixed income, and my house payment is going to be harder and harder and harder for me to pay on a fixed income as my property taxes continue to go up. And as property taxes continue to go up here in the Westfield area, our senior citizens are going to suffer for that. There are going to be folks here who won't be able to make their mortgage payment anymore because the property taxes have gone too high and they can't afford to make that payment. And they're going to have to sell the homes that they raised their kids in and that they talked about growing old together in. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. And I think that we are inflating assessed values here in Hamilton County and specifically in Westfield. And we're building homes at a rate that we're really kind of pushing toward creating another bubble like we had in the early 2000s. And we're pushing ourselves toward a potential home crisis and financial crisis similar to what we had in 2008. And that concerns me. And yes, the economy's doing great, but you can create a housing bubble in a community if you overdevelop too fast. And I'm concerned that we're going in that direction. I'm not saying we have to stop development. I'm not saying that we can't build amenities like Grand Park and Grand Junction. But what I am saying is that TIF financing is not the best way to do it. We need to find a better method. Now, I don't have all the answers, and I look forward to the opportunity to sit down with people who are a lot smarter than me, like Troy Patton, Cindy Spoljaric, Scott Fry, and ask them, you know, what are your ideas? How do we do this in a more stable manner? And a manner that's not so dependent upon taxpayers having their taxes raised year after year after year, and putting stress on the school system that needs to be able to grow as our population grows. Not only the school system, but the police department, the fire department, our infrastructure, our roads, our sewer systems, all of these things have to grow as development grows. And so I would ask you, do some research into local income tax and tax increment financing and make up your own mind. Is this the right way to go? And what do we do? How do we take what's already been dealt out on the table and play that hand in a more responsible manner? We have options. We have the ability to go out and find alternatives. We're not stuck with tax increment financing. We can pay that debt off and not strap ourselves or depend on artificially inflated assessed values. So again, I appreciate you taking the time to listen. Go out there and do some research on your own. Go to Troy Patton's website. He's a really smart guy, really sharp. He's got some great content there that can explain to you exactly what it is you need to know to be able to go out and do your own research. Thanks again for taking the time. Have a great rest of your day.